is the Big O Show. This is the Big O Show.
There he is, the man, the myth, the legend that is Omar Kelly. Oh, how you doing? How you feeling?
Where are you? Are you in a video game store or a card collecting store? What is this?
You can tell he doesn't keep up with the show. Caneswear, bro. We're at Caneswear.
Oh, okay.
What's wrong with you, bro?
Cane. I know they got one up in Davie. Not that I go to Davie anymore.
It's the only one they have, Omar.
Oh, I thought they had one in Canes. Okay. I mean, in Coral Gables.
No, we're not going to say the name of that place because, of course, we're not going to do that to Caneswear. But no, those are two separate businesses.
Okay. All right. Excellent. I got to make my way up to Caneswear.
I love Omar, bro.
The video's good. Let's make sure that I can get some jokes. And before we begin, want to apologize to Landon Roberts because you got me in trouble.
You got yourself in trouble. I didn't do anything. I didn't highlight it or anything, bro.
No. Listen, you goading me.
Remember, we got over 60,000 downloads daily. We're pushing to 1.7 million a month. Okay, we are pacing for 20 million a year. We got a large audience now, Omar.
All right, let me finish my apology.
QAM and 790s got combined.
Let me finish my apology.
Bro. When you say something, it's going to travel.
While I made the point that he is Flo's lieutenant, and he is Flo's lieutenant, at a ridiculous argument that you were making about him talking to Tua about how, against the coaching staff.
Yeah, hey, kid, it's not you. Flo sucks.
No, that was not the conversation, number one. But I also, in the conversation, trying to defend him, said that he's the locker room snitch, which he is not, and took great offense to that. That's a very bad thing to say. Don't know why I said it.
Yeah, I don't know either.
Be quiet.
Have you watched that guy hit people in the hole? You don't call a person. You can say he sucks or say he's not a good player, but you can't call him a snitch, bro. Come on.
A snitch is referring to when people are reporting back what's going on behind the scenes.
That's bad.
And I shouldn't have said that. That's not what he is. He is a lieutenant. He's not a snitch.
You got that, Landon Roberts? Okay. All right. So make sure you don't go. What's his name? Oh, well, the good thing is you're no longer in the locker room, so you can't suffer a Jason Cole, a Gene Atkins type scene. You know what I'm saying? So you're good there.
Let's go on. Let's move on. I've had my issues with many players, a lot bigger than Landon Roberts. I'll survive.
I know, but Jason Cole survived too, and he took a hit. Okay, for those of you that don't know, Jason Cole wrote an article years ago. This is 20 years ago, 25 years ago. I forgot what it was. It was a long time ago. And Gene Atkins was not playing well, and he was talking about, his pay and all that stuff. And Gene did not want to, back in those days, it was kind of newish to be going into somebody's salary and all that because salaries were starting to grow so much. Yeah. No, really. I mean, 40 years ago.
Yeah, no, when you mention players' money.
Yeah, right. Yeah, but
they get sensitive.
No, but they've been desensitized a little bit more.
No, they have not. No, they have not.
Omar,
no, they have not.
Trust me.
You trust me. I deal with them. No, they have not.
Yes, they have. Yes, they have because Omar, it's part of the whole thing nowadays. But in the early days, when it really wasn't talked about, like when Jason Cole was writing it, it really lit them up, right? And so in the locker room, for those of you that don't know, Jason Cole was in a scrum there getting his quote, and Gene Atkins came out of nowhere and tackled Jason Cole in the locker room. It was an ugly scene. And so, that's why I mentioned it to Omar that he doesn't go in the locker room, so he's not going to get Gene Atkins. That's it. So there you go. It's notorious.
You never know. I could get Gene Atkins at any time.
That's true. It might be Flo for asking about hair. So you were interested in his follicles today.
Listen, I, you know what? I pride myself in being the people's writer. If people are discussing it and talking about it, whether or not it's behind the scenes or not, I'm going to ask the question. If you've had one look for your entire coaching career, and Flo has had one look for his entire coaching career, I want to, people are asking and wondering what's going on with the changeup. First, it started with the beard. Went from a goatee to a full beard. Then it became, okay, he's growing hair on top of his head. Flo was always a baldy, but apparently he chose to go baldy as opposed to, it wasn't
He pulls it
apparently.
off, bro. He pulls it
Yeah,
off.
yeah.
He pulls
Apparently
it off.
it isn't a I'm bald on top, so I went bald. It's just
Right.
I was bald because I was bald. So
Right.
now, as he revealed at my question, his son asked him to grow his hair, so he did. He doesn't like it, but he did.
You don't think it's a 2-game winning streak thing? While we're winning, I'm not
He
shaving.
started doing it during the losing streak, which is
okay.
So and I was like kind of like, maybe it's something he doesn't want to change it up until they start winning or something like that. But then he got a fresh cut apparently today or within the last 2 days, and the cut continued on what he's been building. And so I was curious. I am that reporter who, whenever a guy starts growing a beard, I become obsessed with it because I'm a beard guy. So I always said the bearded Chad Henne and the bearded Ryan Tannehill were the best eras of Chad Henne and Ryan Tannehill. And to this day, I will still say that. Even Tua, I don't know if he still has it, but Tua's growing a little beard. So, we'll see. I believe the best quarterbacks are the bearded quarterbacks.
Well, yeah, that's if you can grow a beard. If you grow that Patch Adams beard,
Come on. Hold on. Wait a minute.
No. If you're growing that Ricky Williams, I look like a bum sitting on the corner like beard, don't grow your beard, bro. If you got patches and you can't grow a full beard,
let's be honest. We all have patches.
No, we don't.
We can just hide them a little bit better.
No, I don't have any patches.
Oh, because you're a hairy man. So congratulations to you.
Well, that's actually not a good thing either, but
yeah.
And as you get older, hair's coming out of places you had no idea they could come out of places. Okay, that is not a fun thing. I mean, seriously, I could form layers if I left the hair out of my ears grow. I can braid my ear hairs if I really wanted to. I just don't cut it. Don't trim for a couple months, and I swear to you, you'll think I'm doing it because I'll have those things hanging. You know what I'm saying?
When I got back on the market after my separation and eventual divorce, I realized that the women on the market, they need a manicured landscape.
Yeah.
And so I had to become I had to Kellen Winslow it, which is, back in the day, Kellen Winslow was a rare breed.
Right. He was a soldier.
He was a soldier. And so I had to shave off, and still do have to shave because women don't want it anymore.
No. It's not. Old school women love the hair. New school women want it.
Come on, Bugger. I wasn't going for the old school. Come on, bro.
I'm just saying. You're not old.
I'm old. I'm not
just
going for old.
I'm just telling you what old people, old women back in the day used to look at chest hair as something sexy. Now they look at chest hair like, ew, gross.
Yeah, absolutely. And I didn't want the women who looked at chest hair as sexy. Let's just put it that way. Let's just keep it where it is.
I don't know. There's some, again, depends on the area you grew up in. I'm just saying. There are those women that do still appreciate a little hair.
Yeah, the Cougars out there. Yeah, you might be right. And the Cougars, no disrespect to the Cougar market. The Cougar market is a very good market.
There you go. If you're a single man, I mean, that's nothing wrong with that market right there, man. So you can
it's good eating. It is good eating.
All right. So did you find anything good in Tua not being limited in practice, even though it was a walkthrough yesterday?
Oh, he's throwing the ball well. I watched him throw the ball today. Obviously, he knows we're there, and he knows Tua's a very aware guy. And so he knows that I'm watching him, videotaping. He was slinging it, and he was showing you, okay, arm good, ready to go. And previously, this is how I knew it was an issue. He wasn't showing you nothing. There was passes weren't longer than 10 yards when he was having the finger issue, which is why I kind of sensed initially that, hey, there's something to this. There's something here.
You were just watching those little short warm-up throws, right?
Yeah. I mean,
right, I got you.
It's not even warm-up throws. It's like playing pitch,
Right.
pitch and catch.
Right.
Now, today I put up some videos. Today he's slinging it. He's like, yo, I'm good. And I really think the rest has benefited him. The arm looks very good. Now he's going to need it to go in Meadowlands because that wind swirls, and that's why all AFC quarterbacks, they generally have to have good arms, because you play in Buffalo, you play in MetLife Stadium. In this time of season, the wind is a factor.
Yeah. No, you're right. There's no doubt about that. When you look at injury-wise, where are they right now? Christian Wilkins, how much of a concern is that for this game on Sunday?
It's a concern. He'll probably be out there. I don't think he'll probably be 100%. You might see some other guys like the Zach Sealer and who's the guy from New England? Butler, yeah, and Adam Butler take more of his reps. Maybe you'll see him in some limited packages, but calf injuries are very tricky. Now, obviously, Christian isn't running full stride, but it might be able to impact his ability to anchor against a run. We don't know. But Christian really only plays running downs, to be honest with you. He plays some passing down situations, but not really.
Offensive line, are we, somebody was telling me this week and last week too at the same time. I was different people, but I talked to an offensive line coach this week. He feels that they have no choice but to play Eichenberg at left tackle, but he has no business at left tackle. He's supposed to be a right tackle. He says Eichenberg will never be a left tackle in the NFL, even though he played that in Notre Dame. But he feels that the Dolphins are forcing the issue because they have no faith in anyone else playing the position. So they feel that Jesse is the serviceable guy on one side and Eichenberg might be their best option, but that he feels next year that Eichenberg will end up where he belongs at right tackle. Do you agree with that?
They don't have any other options, especially with Greg Little going on IR for the next 3 weeks. There is nothing else. Your only other option is Solomon Kinley, and as my colleague who I trust, he's not my colleague, but Alan Poupard pointed out to me today in practice, he watched Solomon Kinley watch practice from kind of the sidelines while everybody else was working, and Solomon Kinley's not even on the injury list. So what's that about? So that's Solomon Kinley's the only insert that you could add other than Bobby Jones, a rookie undrafted player. There is absolutely, unequivocally, no doubt about it, no hope for this offensive line. What you got is what's there. It's not good enough, and there is no reinforcements coming. I think the only change you can make is probably putting Robert Hunt at right tackle and moving Jesse to a guard spot. But if they haven't done that by now, they're not going to do it.
Right. No, I agree with you. That's probably the only other option.
And you can't go back to Austin Jackson at left tackle, even though, this
was his best week. He just had his best week at guard, dude. This was his highest grades at guard this week. It's a slight improvement, but God, this was his best game actually this past week.
I don't remember the game performances, but I don't remember the game.
I'm just telling you by the grades they ended up giving him, and not that he's been great by any.
I don't believe in Pro Football Focus grades, but yeah, it's all me. If that's the best that you could do, it sucks for everybody.
I mean, for him, any kind of improvement for him is going to be good. But do you believe that Eichenberg is a right tackle, not a left tackle?
I believe that Eichenberg needs to prove that he's an NFL starter. Bottom line, he might be a guard.
No. I understand that, but do you
I
agree
don't.
with it? Because this is a pretty experienced offensive line.
I'm replacing. I'm trying to replace every single player on the offensive line other than Robert Hunt. Can't be done in one off season, but
No way.
there's not.
I'm not
There's
replacing one of those guys until I get a real O line coach to actually coach them up, and then I can
no. This is where
find
you're
out.
wrong. This is where you're wrong. The talent is just subpar,
No,
and
I
yeah,
don't believe
yeah,
I don't
yeah,
believe that.
yeah.
I believe that. Eichenberg had better coaching at Notre Dame, bro. I mean,
You said this to me in the off season, and look where we are now.
yeah, that's right. They have no
I sat
coaching.
here and
Dude,
I told you
Pepe
that
Le
the
Pew,
offense.
Pepe Le Pew cannot coach right now.
I
He might
sat
be a
here and
young
I
coach
told you all
down the
summer
line.
this offensive line is going to wreck this season.
Yeah.
And what happened?
No, it's wrecked it. No
It's
doubt.
there's nothing there's nothing salvageable about this season, and when you I did a breakdown a month ago and carried it over to revisiting it this month on Tuesday. It analyzed the 10 issues that are holding this team back, and I really wanted to, and I plan to I wanted to revisit it a month later to see how many of those things are being fixed or being addressed or have made improvements and made strides. The team has made strides in every single one except for Tua's injury, because he's come back from the rib injury and now then he had the finger injury. And even that is heading in the right direction because Tua just showed he has it against a victory against Buffalo that he contributed to. But every single one of those issues are being fixed with the exception of anything that is tied to and associated with the offensive line.
Of course.
Offensive scoring, offensive line,
Yeah.
pass protection, offensive line, run game, offensive line.
Deep
Anything that has to do with the offensive line is getting better. I mean, anything that doesn't have to do with the offensive line is getting better and showing improvements, which means Flo and the coaching staff are doing a decent job. But the exception is offensive line. If it associates with offensive line, it's getting worse.
So it tells you coaching.
They blame the run game issues on the changes that have happened at center, and that's fair. That is logical and fair. They are starting a guy who they claimed off New Orleans' practice squad.
Right. That's normal. That's understandable.
And he's your third center. So,
right.
And then you had to sign a guy who'd been out of the NFL to be his backup, and so it's a justifiable reason for why you were bad and are regressing.
Okay, but if I tell you that most of the defensive players, the young picks, they're all improving now, and Gesicki and Waddle, they play in spite of the garbage that's around him, but yet all the struggles are on the O line. You think the coincidence is that they're all bad, or is it that they have poor leadership in coaching them? Because it's hard, it's near impossible to have the three worst linemen in the NFL. That coincidence tells me that you have no coaching. That's what that tells me.
That's fair and valid, and I'm not going to argue against it. But I thought they were bad last year too,
and they had a bad offensive line coach also last year.
Well, better than this unit. So
the only thing he's nailed in 3 years so far, and it wasn't him, it was Greer that helped him, was Gailey. Outside of that, he hasn't been able to pick an offensive coordinator, or he hasn't been able to pick an offensive line coach. He has really struggled. And what is it, Omar? Is it 7 different positions already at those 2 spots? Is it 4 different offensive line coaches, 3 different offensive coordinators? Is that the number we're at so far?
That is true. Yeah, that's accurate.
Years?
And I mean, it is what it is. Yeah, but he also, and I don't necessarily agree with it, but I understand his thought process. When he was firing people or replacing people in his first 2 years, we celebrated it.
I get it. But at one point or another, you have to settle down, Omar. You have to find, if you can't build a staff, you cannot be a head coach.
It's the same problem that the Hurricanes are having, and I think the genesis of the Hurricane issue is player development. Players are getting there and not getting better. And offensively, you can make that argument against the Hurricanes. I think Chan Gailey was not a problem. I think he was an asset. I think he really helped you. I think he best offense since 1984, scoring points wise.
I'm
Like,
with you, baby. I'm with you.
and I really hope that the fans who thought he was trash and garbage and pathetic and whatnot, I really hope they learned a lesson from this experience and situation and criticism. Because when teams don't score points, it's always the offensive coordinator, which is why Flo will never tell you who the offensive coordinator is or the play caller is, because he wants it on him, and that's fair. But yes, is my biggest concern about Flo moving forward, because I think he's going to be here. I really do think that this team is going to pick up and they're going to win games and they're going to get to 6 wins. And Steve Ross is going to say, I need to stick with these guys and blah, 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 continuity, blah, 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 blah. And we're going to get here to the offseason. Flo knows he's going to have to probably hire a better offensive coordinator, probably, and without a doubt, hire a better offensive line coach. He's going to have coaches leave his staff because they're jumping off the sinking ship, and he's going to have to hire new guys. And the question I have is, do people want to work for him, no matter how much money Steve Ross is throwing at the problem?
No.
And we'll see. We shall see.
It's already been proven in 3 years. That's the problem. That's it. Insanity is doing the same thing over and over again. And insanity is thinking.
I have actually written that line.
I
have written that line for a column regarding the offensive line.
I had blind-ass fans yesterday telling me, no, Flo will get the offensive coordinator and the O-line right next year. Really? Wow. Where's the proof to that, dude? You know what I mean? Like, he hasn't done it for 3 years, so all of a sudden he's going to get it right next year? Get the hell out of here, dude. And you just named it. The key point is what you said, sinking ship. So who's coming here for a guy that comes in on the hot seat in his 4th year? And everybody knows that if you're already on the hot seat in your 4th year, you're probably not
somebody who needs a job.
God. What?
Or a young college assistant.
There's the guy.
Which is what he has on defense.
A Joe Brady type is what he has to find.
Yeah. I mean, I hear what you're saying. Somebody who wants to look what Joe Brady's doing in Carolina.
He doesn't have a quarterback, bro.
Whatever.
He doesn't have a quarterback. What do you mean, whatever, bro? He doesn't have a quarterback.
They chose that quarterback.
The head coach and the owner chose the quarterback.
They dumped Teddy Bridgewater for that situation, which I thought was just ridiculously dumb.
I mean, Teddy Bridgewater is just a guy, bro. And in Minnesota, they're complaining because they have no explosiveness in their offense.
You mean Denver? But yes,
they have no explosiveness with their offense because of Teddy Bridgewater. Teddy Bridgewater is a jag at quarterback. When you use Teddy, Teddy's a backup, bro. He has no.
Teddy can win games in the NFL. He's proven that.
Oh, bro, the only way he wins games if you give him the 2001 Bucks or the 03 Ravens or something that's so dominant. And all he has to do is facilitate. Teddy Bridgewater will never, ever drive an offense to be explosive, ever. Go look at all of his offense.
He won in New Orleans. Okay. I think Teddy Bridgewater is the baseline of what you need to win in the NFL.
My man, in 5 games, I believe that he went 5-1 or something like that. He threw like 10 touchdowns. Go look at the stats, my man.
Listen,
maybe 9 touchdowns.
Do they have a winning record or not? I don't even know.
It's Sean Payton in a defense, dude. And
no. I'm talking about now. Does Denver have a winning record now?
No, I don't think so. I think they are a losing record. I've watched them several times this year. Denver is not a good team, dude. They got a great defense, but they're not a good team. I'll give you their standings right now. I'm pretty sure they've got a losing record. Where are they at right now here? Denver is 5-5, actually. That's what they are.
Yeah, it's in there. Here's something I want to discuss with you, and I just looked it up. I looked up every quarterback who started games, every quarterback from the 2019 draft, 2020, 2021. That's Tua's class. I always look at a crop of quarterbacks in the 3-year cycles. The year before you, the year after you. There are about a dozen guys who have started games. Only 2 who have winning records right now. Kyler Murray and Mac Jones. Tua, if he wins against the Jets, will become the third, and Tua's generally had a winning record as quarterback. Why do you think that's so hard for young quarterbacks right now? Daniel Jones, do you know Daniel Jones' record is a disaster?
Of course.
And why teams just continue to believe that they can parade out young quarterbacks and sell them to fan bases when the truth is a young quarterback is generally going to mean a nice, healthy period of struggles to the point where Ryan Tannehill's early years is starting to look good compared to what you're seeing young quarterbacks do now.
Well, because if you don't have the support, doggy, then it's going to be that much harder for a young quarterback. But if you are Ben Roethlisberger and you step into the Steelers, you can actually be supported, and you can just be that first year when they won the Super Bowl. All they asked him to do was, "Yo, kid, don't screw it up. Just manage." And that's that's what you need with Teddy. It's don't screw it up, just manage. We'll take care of the rest. That's kind of what they did with Big Ben that first year, and then Ben developed into the kind of guy that he developed.
I like those quarterbacks.
Outside of being an alleged rapist, but overall, you got to have support, man. Some of these young quarterbacks, they get into situations where they don't have the coaching, they don't have the offense, they don't have the running game, whatever, and it just makes it that much harder, Omar. That's what I was before you came on. I was just talking about the whole Mac Jones thing. Like, Mac Jones plays in a box. The guy doesn't throw more than 20 yards. When he does, he gets intercepted. And so, but he's played well. But Belichick knows what he has, right? So he keeps the kid in the box. He brought in all the weapons that they need. He gave him an offensive line coach, an offensive coordinator in McDaniels that knows how to develop quarterbacks. So the kid has structure around him, and it helps him. You look at Tua, he doesn't have that structure around him, so his record might be deceiving. Because if I put Tua on the Patriots, they're better than 7-5 right now, I believe, with Tua. Put it that way. Okay?
Yeah,
Because I believe Tua's the better quarterback. But unfortunately, he's not in a better situation, my brother. And that's what we have to look at sometimes.
I disagree with you. I think Tua what began the season in a better situation than Mac Jones. But yes, the offensive line is better. They have an established run game. They've got a defense that's playing good. And they've got a very accomplished coaching staff. So, yes, is Mac Jones in a better situation because of that? Yes, but I think Tua has better overall weapons, or when they were healthy, had better overall weapons. But unfortunately, the system is not really set up for this team to succeed because the offensive line is trash.
By the way, I nailed it. Teddy Bridgewater started 5 games for New Orleans. He threw 9 touchdowns.
How many interceptions? I don't have a problem. Dude, I don't have a problem with game managers.
Well, you're not going to win anything unless your team's a monster.
You're not. And
it has to be your game manager is not going to win you a Super Bowl.
Name me the guys who there has to be 6 quarterbacks in the NFL who you could say I can win with those guys because they're ballers and not game managers. Yes,
Russell Wilson, Aaron Rodgers, Pat Mahomes, Josh Brady.
Allen. Who?
Tom Brady,
Josh Allen, Dak Prescott. That's 6.
Yeah. Yeah. Let me see. Who else do we have here? A young Big Ben, not now anymore. Obviously.
Yeah, no. I mean,
not now. He can't carry teams anymore. His arm is done.
Yeah, I mean, it's so okay
for a little while.
Let's stretch it to 8. Derek Carr is not a game manager.
The massage therapist also is he can carry teams, bro. He can ball out. Let me see who else. Who else are we missing here? If we're missing anybody else?
No, see, it's
no. That's it. There's only those elite guys like that. There's only a few. Kyler Murray has a little some to him.
Oh, Kyler Murray. Yeah,
but he hasn't gotten there yet. He hasn't gotten there. He's almost there.
I put him there.
But he's close. He's close enough.
I put him there. He ain't a game manager.
No. He's a passer. No.
And I put Derek Carr on that because Derek Carr's got those fourth quarter wins.
Yes, Derek Carr actually can do it. That's a good one
So
too. I like Derek Carr.
And we could talk about the Rams quarterback and Stafford. I'm curious to see what he does in the second half of the season, but
Stafford will have his brain farts, is what it is. When he forces stuff, that's his problem at times. And he had to do it a lot with Detroit, and I get it. He can't, like what he pulled this past week, he can't do that with the Rams. He doesn't have to with that kind of a defense. So he's got to be a little bit more disciplined. It's where he gets a little funky to sometimes, and he gets in trouble. But he does have the capability of what you're talking about. Yes.
Yeah. So to get to the Teddy Bridgewater, I think Teddy Bridgewater is the baseline of what you need as a quarterback. If you can get a Teddy Bridgewater or better, you give yourself a chance. Now, you've got to have a hell of a supporting staff around you.
Exactly.
And you need that quarterback to put the team on his shoulders and win games, which is why I like Tua. I think Tua can put the team on his shoulder and win games from time to time. But Teddy Bridgewater is the baseline. Teddy Bridgewater is a starter in the NFL. He's
a Jag. He's a starter. Whatever. I mean, nine touchdowns in 5 games with Sean Payton, my brother. That's not impressive.
Okay, I mean,
you have one of the best. You have one of the best offensive minds in the NFL, and Sean Payton.
We'd have to look at what Jameis Winston was able to produce in those starts. But I mean, it's an interesting conversation, an interesting debate.
I mean, for me, he's all right. He's just a Jag. He's just nothing special. Now, if you have a monster team,
are we going?
Right.
Okay.
If we have a monster team, then Teddy can get it done, can help you. But outside of that, if you're expecting him to go, mano a mano against a great quarterback,
no. I mean, but we've already identified, what are there, 8 great quarterbacks? One-fourth of the time, you're going to be facing somebody just like you, which you're going to be facing the Ryan Tannehills of the world, and really it just comes. I mean, we've seen this franchise do it so many different times. It's just get a top 15 quarterback. Let's do that. Let's get in the conversation of, hey, my quarterback can limit mistakes and carry me to victories. I don't need him to put on a cape and win every Sunday. You clearly don't have that. And based on what you've seen come into the draft the last 3 years, those are hard to find.
By the way, Winston has 14 touchdowns and 3 interceptions.
In the same amount of games, or
less. Less.
No, less. No, that adds up. The averages out because
he actually has 11 touchdowns in 3 games. Some of the other games he didn't throw one and then threw one in the others, actually, and only one game with 2 interceptions. Which, by the way, I mean, I don't know what the hell Sean Payton's got, but he's limiting that guy's interceptions. That's huge. That's enormous, bro. That is impressive. All right, are they winning this week? What's the prediction?
They should. They can. 23-17. This is probably, outside of Houston, probably the only team that you're clearly better than in the NFL. You should be able to take care of business. Jacksonville too, but you got your ass beat by them.
It's all right, but Tua's healthy now, ready to go.
Yeah.
All out. Plus, really the key to everything, the entire season. You need to write an article about this. Okay, is our move to Sports Grill on Bird Road. We're 2-0. So it's really not the defense. It's not anything that's going on. It's not Flo growing hair. It's not you growing more hair. No. It's our move to Sports Grill at Bird Road.
It's those special grill wings. That's what it is.
That's it. And when the hell are you
I got to tell you, I think about those special grill wings all the time.
The hell's wrong with you, bro? Let's go.
Listen,
let's have some wings.
I need to see if they do delivery. I'm not a big delivery guy. Jesus, I'm really not a big delivery.
Huh? You can Uber Eat it. You can Uber Eat.
It would take like 90 minutes for it to get to me, but I think it's worth it.
Well, you order ahead of time, bro. You look at the Uber Eats app will tell you it's 30, 40, 50 minutes, whatever. You'll see.
Yeah. I got to go.
You plan ahead. Get out of here. We love you.
All right. Talk to you later.
Very good. The great Omar Kelly and our EJDconstruction.com Miami Dolphins report.